Almost every Minecraft player has visited the end, but have you ever learned about its origins? According to ancient records, it was once just like the overworld, filled with flowers and trees, where ancient villagers once lived. So why does it look like this now? Well, it all starts with a creator god named Nation. To build a world filled with happiness, he first created plains with an axe, then used magic to create wheat, and then, in his own image, he created the first villagers. He programmed them with a basic code. They could breed by sharing food. As the villager population grew, they began working together and quickly developed various structures. They even invented laws, locking all the evil ones in prison. Nation believed that with enough food and wealth, he could create happiness for them. But as days went by, their monotonous life left every villager increasingly bored and empty. They had nothing to do. No houses needed building. No food needed gathering. There weren't even any conflicts between villagers, because all the criminals were locked up. With nothing to do, the villagers could no longer feel happiness, watching his creations gradually lose their spirit. Nation searched everywhere for a solution. One day he stumbled upon a cave, where he discovered glowing runes. When he wiped the dust off the stone wall, he found information carved beneath. It described a portal to a magical land, a place that sparks curiosity. At the end in red text it warned, "Do not eat the fruit there." Below the stone wall, Nation found a diagram, showing a construction method he'd never seen before, a frame made of silverstone and blue crystals. This discovery gave Nation an idea. He decided to take the villagers to explore this new place, to make them happy through curiosity. So, he immediately announced his discovery to the villagers and showed them how to build the portal. Finally, the villagers had something to do. They immediately went to mines to gather silverstone. Then, following the blueprint, they assembled it. Once completed, Nation activated it with a bucket of seawater and was the first to enter the portal. It was a beautiful floating island with azure skies and vibrant ground. Trees and flowers grew everywhere. After making sure it was safe, Nation led everyone behind him enter one by one. This was a new dimension they'd never seen. Nation named it the End Continent. The new environment sparked the villagers' curiosity. They discovered emeralds, golden apples, and some white powder that made people float. At the edge of the island, there were strange purple fruits. Based on their appearance, Nation immediately realized these were the purple pine cones mentioned on the wall. So he warned his people never to touch them, and certainly never eat them. Over the next few days, they adapted to the terrain and built structures completely different from the overworld. The end ships that players see today were built during that time, but these peaceful days didn't last long. One villager had intense curiosity. He really wanted to taste the purple pine cone, so when no one was around, he secretly picked one and ate it. But the next second, he found himself teleported to a new place. Ahead of him was a platform with a portal, and behind him were hundreds of endermites. To avoid being bitten, the villager was forced to jump into the portal and ended up back on the island, bringing back an endermite with him. As everyone watched in shock, his right leg was bitten by the endermite. After Nation got rid of it, the villager had already passed out from the venom. When he woke up again, his skin began turning black, and he was no longer interested in any food. He couldn't look people in the eyes anymore, until one day he completely lost his mind, and suddenly attacked Nation without warning. Nation dodged and immediately struck him down with his axe. The villager had completely transformed. His limbs became elongated, his body pitch black. Later, people would call him an Enderman. Nation sensed his killing intent, and quickly killed him. When he fell, he dropped something that looked like a pearl. Not long after, the pearl accidentally slipped from Nation's hand, and the moment it hit the ground, Nation was teleported to a new dimension. Seeing hundreds of endermites behind him, Nation quickly went through the portal and returned to where the ender pearl had landed. This accident made Nation realize the ender pearl's power. It could be used for long-distance teleportation. Meanwhile, on the other side, a vicious criminal escaped from the overworld prison. While on the run, he discovered the portal to the island. So driven by curiosity, he entered it too. And since he hadn't eaten in a long time, as soon as he arrived, he picked a purple pine cone and ate it without hesitation. As a hardened criminal, when he was teleported there, he wasn't afraid of these bugs. He even attacked them first. After killing several endermites, he left through the portal and captured 2 endermites along the way. His sudden appearance quickly caught the villagers' attention. "Drop those bugs right now. Getting bitten by those things will mutate you." But the prisoner just laughed and asked where Nation was. Soon, he found Nation on a tall platform. He held a purple pine cone and appeared behind Nation, threatening him to grant him the power of creation, or he would immediately eat the pine cone and bring hundreds of endermites back to the island. To infect all the villagers, Nation had no choice. To protect his people, he had to agree to the prisoner's demand. So he raised his hand and granted the prisoner power equal to his own. But after gaining the power of creation, the prisoner still ate the pine cone and brought thousands of endermites to the island. These endermites quickly bit the villagers. Large numbers of villagers mutated into endermen. Some villagers tried to fight back, but the endermites were endless. Whether they drank healing potions or ate golden apples, nothing worked. There was no cure for this infection. Nation watched helplessly as the lives he created turned into monsters one by one. And the one responsible for all this was the prisoner before him. So he began battling the prisoner. But since the prisoner now had power equal to his, they were evenly matched. And Nation, as a god of creation, wasn't skilled in combat. So in the fight with the prisoner, he gradually fell behind. Fortunately, Nation quickly rallied. He grabbed the prisoner and threw him into the air, then flew above him and unleashed all his divine power, slamming the prisoner straight into the portal. The portal immediately exploded. The shockwave instantly tore the island's structures apart. All living things were caught in the explosion. All plants on the ground were completely destroyed. Only the chorus plants survived. Some Endermen also survived. At the center of the explosion, a portal to the overworld was formed. Nation still wasn't satisfied. Looking at the severely wounded prisoner, Nation decided to punish him properly. He created a curse, placing a crystal on each end pillar, then transformed the prisoner's limbs. By changing his torso and face, he ultimately turned him into an Ender Dragon. Then with chains released from the end crystals, he imprisoned him there, never to leave for all eternity. Until a powerful player comes to defeat him,